everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Moose Lunston.
And I'm Adam Vokey.
And we're on location again, Adam Vokey.
At the Hall Event Center.
Yeah, somewhere new. We haven't been here yet. Pretty cool.
This is a pretty cool little place.
It's actually the old VFW here in Fort Morgan if you are looking for it. And the Heislers have actually redone this whole place. It's actually really cool.
It looks good in here.
We're going to have some videos of the place throughout this podcast. You can kind of check it out and all this stuff. And we have someone that actually better explain this kind of stuff to us.
We do.
Mickayla Heisler, how are you?
Doing good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we've had a fun adventure redoing this building.
Right. How long have you guys owned this for?
So Patrick and I, my husband, bought it in the middle of COVID in 2020 because we're crazy.
COVID, son of
a... we saw that the VFW Post was going to sell the building, and we're like, well, let's go take a look. He'd never been in. And I was like, well, just go take a look. We'll see what happens. I mean, I was no longer working for the city of Fort Morgan, and we had recently just gotten married. So we're like, we can look. We can see how this goes. Yeah. And we took a quick tour of the place, and later that day we put in a bid in it because we just fell in love with the building and the history.
What were you doing with the city of Fort Morgan?
So I worked for the rec department. I worked at the senior center.
Okay, cool.
I did all the holiday parties and all the different fun events that the seniors do. So
that's very cool. And also she's of Bullhucker fame because she's the sister of Tyler Zink. What's up, Tyler and Yolanda Zink? You fools.
Love you guys.
The younger sister.
I am the youngest.
Right. And do you have a comment for your nephew?
Jackson, I did it. I'm on here. No laughing at my stories.
He's actually a friend of mine on Facebook now. He sent me a friend request, so I don't...
Oh, yeah. He's had a Facebook since he was like 5, and I'm just like, okay, then.
Hey,
I send him pictures. I send him cute pictures of him, so... You
know what? His mom is Yolanda. I mean, he's already been faced with...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, most of the bad shit he's going to learn is from Yolanda Zink. There. What's up, yo? So... if you're new to the podcast, real quick, welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. What we do on this podcast is we bring a guest on who tells us 3 stories about their life. Now, here's the kicker. Only 2 of these stories are true. 1 story is either borrowed, half made up, or all the way made up. Now, Mickayla, without going into great detail, and don't give anything away, which is it closest to? Is it a borrowed story, partially made up, or all the way made up?
It's partially made up.
Partially made up. Okay, we'll stop there. Because sometimes people give us the answer inadvertently, not knowing it, because we're super sleuths, me and this guy. Okay, we've done this...
I don't know about that.
Well,
you might be, but...
There's been 1 or 2 times that someone has given it up, and we're like... But we still cheat and beat them. That's how we do, because we got no shame, right, Mr. Vokey?
Yeah, they're like, we need to make sure we can know how to spell this word, and it's like one word that's huge. Everything else is like smaller words. Well, we know which one that is.
So, but before that's what we do there. And by the way, if you like what you hear today, please hit that subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. It's a little red dot. Hit that because it's a
small click for you, but a huge click for us.
See, Dency, he's listening to the trash talking because me and Dency had badmouthed him a little bit. Now he's getting pretty good. He's going to be the king of this shit someday there, Mrs. Kudrin.
I practice in my bathroom mirror.
Just staring at I didn't mess up the whole bottom on the back right-hand corner of the screen just till now. I did it just now, but... The first voyage into it, I did pretty damn well, right?
You did well.
I did okay. So yeah, please check that out. And no matter where you get your podcast from, wherever you get them from, please leave a rating and review. We appreciate it. And Adam will hug you in public if he sees you, right?
I will. And speaking of that, I need to give a shout out to Trish.
Oh, that's right.
I was telling Moose about this. So we had just finished recording some podcasts a few weeks ago. I'm at Walmart in the pasta aisle looking for spaghetti,
as one is,
and all of a sudden this lady walks up to me and got like fairly close, and I looked at her and she smiled and she waved and she goes, "Hi, I'm Trish." To which I'm thinking, okay, cool, hi Trish. I had no idea what was going on. I'd never seen this woman in my life, and I go, "Hi," and she goes, "I just saw you and recognized you. I just wanted to come say hi." And I go, "Okay, hi." I'm thinking, what is going on here? I just want spaghetti. And so she goes, "I listened to the Bullhucker, I watched the Bullhucker, and I recognize you. I just wanted to come say hi." So, hello, Trish. I know I forgot your hugg, because she's looking at me like, is this where we hug?
I will give you a hug when I see you, Trish, because this insensitive, selfish son of a bitch left you high and dry, okay?
I was so thrown off with being recognized for the Bullhucker that I forgot what I was supposed to do. So, Trish, if you see me in the pasta aisle at Walmart again, just come up and hug me.
Just do it.
I know who you are now. Just
straight up
come give me a big hug.
You know the Bullhucker podcast where they tell 3 stories, 2 are true, 1's borrowed, and the whole bullshit thing is they give offers they don't offer, they don't own up
They
to.
don't fulfill their hugs.
Right,
Trish
right.
is going to take my spot one of these days.
That's right. And if you're a hugger, Trish, you know what? Come talk to me. We've been looking to replace this bastard for a while. So
I'm sorry if I didn't get you a hug.
I forgot.
Trish.
I'm glad you remembered that. You told me that. And I'm like, you need to tell
I've been
Trish you're
losing
sorry.
sleep over forgetting the fact that I might forget to say hey to Trish.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And also, we have comedy shows coming up at the golf course in Brush. So tickets will go on sale early October. We'll give you by the next podcast or the next 2 actual date they go on sale. And I bring that up because, well, it's coming up in October. We're going to do 3 this year. So to kind of test the water. So you can kind of check out for that also. And hopefully we get to meet some people that watch the podcast. Susan Koser, I hope you show up to the, because I'd like to meet Susan. We've talked about her since the day 1 of this. And, yeah, so it'd be cool if she comes up. We used to do the podcast at the San Cedar, which, Mickayla, you actually are part owner in now.
I am part owner of it now.
That's pretty exciting.
It is. It's kind of fun. We're helping out our really close friends, and we're excited for them to move out of the Brighton, Denver area and bring their family out here. And we're really looking forward to what they bring out to the Sands because they really want to up it and make it back to its glory that it had.
That'd be, yeah, I'm excited for that. Your husband, who'll be on in a couple weeks, was telling us they finally got the electrical down.
Yes, finally.
As an electrician who was walking through there, my friend Adrian Vosberg, what's up, booby? And you had a field day when you went and saw the electrical board back there. They were like,
we were laughing at
Between the electricians and then my father is the Fort Morgan fire marshal, so he's going in there. He's just going, I'm not here officially. I'm not here officially.
oh, yeah.
Evan, you need to fix that. I can't look at that. Don't touch anything while I'm here. I can't have knowledge of this.
Right.
He had the same face when we started remodeling the VFW.
Oh, did he really?
There was a lot of, okay, I'm not here as official. I'm not here official. We need to fix that. And I'm like, I'm the firefighter's daughter and then the fire marshal.
Right.
I'm like, there are so many issues. We need to fix these now before I can do anything else.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's good to have that inside knowledge.
It
Yeah.
is. It's really helpful. It comes in handy a lot because at the same time I'm like, so Dad, I need the fire marshal's hat, but the dad's advice.
Right.
I need the knowledge of the fire marshal,
Right.
but I need my dad's
Right.
information.
I need my
of how
dad to
do
come
this.
over and tell me what the fire marshal would tell me.
Pretty much. It's a lot of, okay, I need you to put on part of the fire marshal hat, but mostly the dad
Right,
hat.
right,
I
right.
need to know if I do this and this, is that going to be okay or is that going to be
Right,
bad?
yeah.
I don't want Fort Morgan to be on CNN because the fire marshal's daughter building blew up. I don't want that.
What was the band Great White that started the fire
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
in
club
West
way back in the day?
Warwick, Rhode Island, with the fireworks.
You don't want that.
I don't want that.
How long has he been the fire marshal for?
So my dad has been the fire marshal for the past 7-8 years now.
No, he's not the one we dealt with then. What's your dad's name?
John Zink.
What's up, John Zink? Welcome. We had comedy shows when we first started at the Clarion, and they were so popular that we had to turn people away at the door.
Yep.
It got to a point where there's like 250 people in that little room. Like, it was a fire hazard. And there was a fire marshal who stopped by one day and said, no mas, por favor. No mas.
No, that wasn't Dad.
Yeah, no, it was, I was going to say, John Zink, we've scaled it back, so you just stay away. So,
He's
but-
only in charge of Fort Morgan. It's fine. You're in Brush. That's a whole.
Oh, yeah, this was in the Clarion here in Fort Morgan. One of them showed up, though. Remember that? Had a little talk with us, and we're like, we're just having fun, man. I mean, we're not planning on setting the place on fire, but, you know.
And that second set of doors over there really needs to be unlocked.
Yeah.
I'll go get the key right now. I can take care of that.
Yeah.
That part we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. My wedding reception was at the Clarion, or the new Baymont, as it's now called now.
Okay.
That's where my wedding reception was, and my dad just went, okay. So these doors have to be open, those doors have to be open, and that door through the kitchen has to be open.
Right.
Okay, Dad, you go tell the managers that because you're the father of the bride. You can tell them these things.
That's funny. Do you ever watch that show, Friends? Were you a friend of Friends?
I'm a huge nerd about Friends.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna bring up an episode you'll recognize. Do you ever really watch it, Adam?
A little bit, but
Phoebe dates the health inspector at one point in time, right? And it gets to a point where everywhere she likes to go, he goes in the kitchen and shuts him down.
Shuts him down.
So if she loves a restaurant from here on out, she cannot take him to this restaurant because she's afraid that he'll shut it down. She doesn't care if it's a little dirty. She doesn't care about that, right?
No, she doesn't care. She just wants the food. Just feed the Phoebe, make her happy.
That's right.
Or she'll get Joey involved, and
Yep.
then, all of the shenanigans happen.
The Friends gets a reference on this. I love the show Friends. I was a big fan, so yeah.
And Friends and Harry Potter nerd right here.
Are you? I've never gotten to Harry Potter.
Oh!
Go hang out with my mother. She likes Harry Potter.
You
Isn't that
are
weird?
missing out on so much.
I've always told myself I need to sit down and watch. I've watched the first one.
The first one is good. It does start the whole series off so nicely. But personally, my favorite is the fourth one. The fourth one is my absolute favorite film and book. I just love it so
You're
much.
gonna have to look at the. It's probably on YouTube. If I find it, I'll send it to you. It's saying that all Harry Potter is a ripoff of Star Wars.
I've seen that it's a ripoff of Star Wars. I've seen it's a ripoff off of The Lord of the Rings. Like there's so many controversials of but it is, but it isn't. There are parallels in it. But there is so much different between.
I mean, I don't know, Mickayla. I'm going to bring up the Star Wars one. It's about an orphan child who's where a bearded man comes and gets him and takes him to someone who will train him about a power he doesn't have, who he lives with an uncle and aunt who hate him. Yep. I mean, dude, it's almost scary how close it is, dude.
Trust me, Tyler and I go back and forth on this often.
Oh, he is a nerd. That's right.
Tyler, both my brothers are nerds. Let's be honest, our whole family is nerds,
That's
which
cool,
is why
though.
my husband fits in so nicely.
You're mayonnaise nerds. What's up, yo?
We are nerds, and we're proud of it. But no, Tyler and I go all this back and forth. But luckily, Jackson is on my side, so he's sort of loosened up some. Oh, yeah. Harry Potter and me and Jackson, we're solid.
My girls were Harry Potter, and I've never watched them. I have no idea. Well, this one night, I'm standing in the kitchen, and my youngest daughter, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I do this. She comes walking in, and she hands me a sock. And I took the sock, and she yells, I'm free, and ran off. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
You're getting drug tested. You're getting drug tested.
There's a friend of mine, Stephanie. What's up, Stephanie? Her and her girls were into it, so I'm like texting her. I'm like, why did my daughter just hand me a sock and say I'm free? So then she texts me back about some.
It's Dobby.
Fairy. Yeah, Dobby.
It's Dobby the house elf.
Yeah, that doesn't clear anything up. You said that.
Something about you give somebody laundry and apparently you get freedom. How I still don't know.
She just said it's Dobby. Like I'm like, oh, Dobby! I told you I saw one of them, girl.
Okay, so Dobby appears in the second film, and he is this tiny little elf who can disappear, and he's trying to get Harry kicked out of school or get sent back home for Harry's safety. He has no idea why. So Harry just keeps ignoring him. He's like, go away, leave me alone, stop getting me in trouble.
Right.
I just want to do school. I'm happy here. This is where I want to be. Just leave me alone.
Dobby sounds like kind of a dick.
He was for the first half of the film, and then you realize why. One of the bad guys is trying to get Harry killed.
Is it the one when you can't say his name? I know that
No,
much.
it is not. It is not. He who
Don't-
must not be named.
Okay.
No, it is Lucius Malfoy. He is one of the henchmen.
I bet his if he's got cards, like business cards, that's a bitch to get that on, by the way. Okay. His license must be a
Yeah.
They don't charge
Shit
by
show.
the letter.
Hopefully not. But anyways, so Dobby actually is the slaved elf of the Malfoy family. So he knows what they're trying to do, and he's trying to save Harry. And by the end of it, the only way you can free a house elf is giving them a piece of clothing. Now, it could be a sock, it could be a t-shirt, boxers, for all that could happen. But in Harry's quick mind at the end of the film, the only way he can think about helping Dobby for helping him is he literally pulls off one of his socks, runs down after them, and literally hands Dobby a book that was supposedly belonging to the Malfoys, but they're like, oh no, that's not ours. Why would you give us this? And he's like, well, Dobby, you should just open it. And Dobby's like, I don't know what's going on. And Dobby quickly glances at the book, and he sees something kind of poking out of it. He opens it, and his master had handed him this book because it wasn't theirs. And then he repeats, Master has given Dobby a sock. Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free. And he's holding the smelly teenage boy's sock up to his face like it's the greatest thing ever. And it ends.
So yeah, Brinley, my 10-year-old.
She wanted to
She
set
hands
you
me a
free.
sock and then says that and runs off.
She wanted to set you
And
free.
so,
Brilliantly a nerd. I'd make Dobby go for the underwear. I'd make Dobby earn it. You think a teenage boy's sock smells? Try an old fat man's underwear, okay? Good luck with that, Dobby. Dobby's like, fuck it, I'll stay. I'll be a slave. Slavery's not that tough, you know? All right. Well, we got 3. Are you ready to tell some stories, Mickayla?
Yes.
I'm excited. Okay. Adam, you want to read them off for us, bud?
we got Working in the Dark, The Coin Game, and Unintended Date.
All right, my man. Why don't you pick one up?
I'm going to go with Working in the Dark.
Okay.
Come on, Bruce Springsteen. Tell us.
So working in the dark was while I was working at Walmart, and it was, I want to say sometime in like October, honestly. And it was our inventory week. We were trying to get everything counted, marked.
The worst.
It's the worst time of
Sucks.
Walmart.
It sucks.
It's honestly the worst because you do all this mindless tasks that you still have to do your everyday job of helping the customers, getting things from the front that needs to get back onto the shelf if something's broken. You still have to do all this. But working in the dark was that year for inventory, the entire like area around Walmart lost power.
Okay.
So the freezers were down, the cooler, all the back coolers were down, the lights, there was nothing in the store that you could see. Oops, sorry. And we still had to do inventory. So our store manager at the time, he's like, okay, well, while we still have light through the skylights, we'll just do what you can do, and when it starts getting darker, we'll come up with a solution. Now, most of us, probably stupidly, most of us thought, okay, so when it gets dark, like, we're gonna like be done for the day and just come back again earlier in the morning,
Right.
try to make up the hours.
Not at Walmart, man.
Not at Walmart.
No.
And again, I was low man on totem pole. I'd maybe worked for Walmart for like a year at this point. So I was still like, I love my job. This is great.
It's 13 months too long.
Almost. And so no, the store manager decided that we were all going to work with these tiny little headlamps on our heads.
Like little miners.
Like little miners, only like the headlight was maybe the size of a dime.
Oh, my God.
So we have these tiny little lights, and we had them strapped to our heads. Now, because again, everything's dark, the microwaves aren't working, so if anyone brought something like cold that they wanted to heat up for lunch, you were screwed.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy anything from the store because all the coolers went down.
Oh, no.
Burger King was shut down, Dollar Tree, like that whole area was just dark.
Right.
So we started working. I got the job of standing on a really rickety ladder, trying to fix the water bottle wall.
He's big on that.
I don't do ladders.
He does. It's weird.
He doesn't.
I don't at all. No.
I don't like ladders. Yes, I'm told I don't like ladders.
Okay.
So I got put on a rickety ladder, and I am trying to fix the worst area of my department that I worked in, which was housewares. And it was the water bottle wall. Or there's countless different styles and sizes of water bottles, and they
Right.
never where they should be. Most of the rack was broken, so we just had to try to fix it. We couldn't fix it in the daylight on a normal day, but we had to fix it for inventory in the dark.
Right.
So as I'm sitting on this ladder trying to fix the top shelf because it was the worst of it all, there are other members of the store who decided they weren't going to do their inventory job, so some people started playing hide and seek, keeping their headlights on, mind you. And
I mean, giving people a fighting chance. There's nothing wrong with that, Mickayla. All right.
it was entertaining for like the first 30 minutes.
Right.
But then some people, and this is what I heard, I don't know if all of this is completely factual, but apparently there were several people decided that they were going to hide within the apparel clothing racks on the floors with their phones. So they had their phones on like full blast brightness. They had the headlamp. So basically they just had a beacon of
Right.
random light that no one else had in the store, but it was literally the center of the store.
Right.
There was like 4 of them. And then all of a sudden you see everything go dark. They got caught by managers.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure what happened to them, but then later on that day, several people decided, okay, well, if someone goes into like the bathroom or the break room, let's start screaming or scaring anybody. And again, this was half the store. Most of us were young teenagers. A lot of them were high school students at this
Right.
point. And so they're like, we're just having fun. I'm like, I don't want to hear someone saying I got stabbed while I'm in the bathroom.
Right.
In the dark, and all I have is this very puny headlight that's sort of blinking that it might die any minute.
You switch it off like I'm not here.
You hope you someone a seizure before they stab you. Yes, it's blinking. Yeah.
But it was just these tiny little things, and like Walmart was selling them for like 96 cents. Like they weren't great.
Oh, so
anyways, but we had to use these headlights for 3 solid days.
That's ridiculous.
And I think they put them back on the sales floor.
I was going to say, were they in a cart up front for like 50 cents after that?
Yeah, they don't care.
They did something with it. I don't know. It was just the weirdest thing of my bosses were like, yeah, we want you to fix this problem area and this problem area. We're like, we can't fix this in a normal daylight situation.
Oh, my God.
And I'm supposed to fix this now?
Right.
And my little coworker, she was younger than me, and she was like a high school student. She's like, I'm like 4'2". I would literally have to stand on 2 of these ladders just to reach. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You better owe me. When this is all done, you're buying me Starbucks or something.
Right.
Because I'm doing all the hard stuff on the ladders.
Oh, I'm with you. I hate ladders.
Because then all of a sudden managers will be like, oh, well, you didn't do that enough. Sir, I am doing the very best I can. Please don't yell at me right now. I'm already having a panic attack being on this rickety ladder. I told my manager, my department manager, like, you need to find me a better ladder, please, or even one of the shorter ones. I will make it work. I'll stand on my tippy toes. I don't care. Just get me off of this crappy ladder that's missing like part of the safety foot. Like, no, this is not what I want to do with today.
I like the fact that managers will go out and get 98-cent lights for them to use, but they won't get a decent ladder out of hardware.
Right.
Like they won't go to hardware and be like, all right, we'll give a nice ladder so we don't kill somebody,
Yeah. Let's just, have associates climbing on the back, steel in the receiving room. Like, yeah, this is the smartest decision Wilbur had. It's not, hey, let's redo the. Oh wait, when you're done with your shift, you had to hand your light off to the next person coming in. This was 2 shifts of people running these little headlights.
Oh, that's ridiculous, man. And I guarantee Walmart got robbed. Absolutely. It wasn't open. The store wasn't open, right? I think something just flew into your drink.
I think something did just fly into his
Something
drink.
did just fly into my drink.
Uh-oh.
He's doing the backstroke now.
Okay, don't drink that.
Please don't drink that.
Let's not do that no more. Well, he's on top. The bottom's okay.
Please don't do that. I feel bad.
Walmart, remember back in the day, a couple years ago, where Apple had that, I think it was in China, they had that factory where people were committing suicide, so they put nets on the side of the, so they couldn't jump off, they'd be saved. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So it was an Apple, right? It was.
I want to say it was like the Apple.
So what they did is people kept they didn't want to work there anymore, so they would kill themselves to get out of this job.
Apparently, quitting wasn't good enough.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let them, right? And so they put nets on the outside of the building, so that was no longer a deal. I guarantee Walmart looked at that and said, "How can we make that happen here?" Where they can't quite quit. If you want out, it's like a gang. It's like being in a motorcycle gang. Like, there's only one way out, man.
I still
Maybe
get
they should have
stopped
given him a
every now
sock.
and then. Yeah, it's kind of a sock. I get stopped every now and then if I'm in Walmart. They're like, "Hey, you work here, right?" I was like, "No, I don't work here no more.
Yeah.
I freed myself. I'm out of here."
I was mining and I dug up and I came here. I thought, stupid.
Some people were like, "You were the voice of Walmart when we called." I was like, yes, for a certain point of time. I was in the fitting room. I was the voice of Walmart of Sporting Goods. Answer line 4. And thank you for calling for Morgan Walmart.
Were you really?
How may I help you? I was the voice. Anybody who called that knew me, they just went, "Mickey, why do you sound like a 12-year-old on the phone?" I was like, I don't know.
That's funny.
One manager, he was new to the store, and I was covering the fitting room, and they literally went over the walkie, which I had at the time because I got to be important for like the half an hour lunch I was covering or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, "Why is there a 12-year-old on the phone for the store?" I went, "Sir, that would be Mickayla from Housewares. I'm covering the fitting room."
Because Walmart don't give a damn about child labor laws. They don't give a shit.
I apologize for my voice. And I literally just put the bucket down, and they just go, "Oh, sorry, Mickayla. I'm your new boss. Oh, hi."
Yeah.
No clue what this manager looked like at that point. And then he came and introduced himself. I'm like, "Hi." I was like, "You look 12 too, so do not give me anything."
What year was this around, Mickayla?
So this was around 2016, 2017.
Okay, I think I remember this. I worked for Pepsi at the time, so Did you ever have to mess with the Walmart when you worked for Budweiser when it was inventory time?
The Sterling Walmart.
A nightmare. Oh my God,
sucks.
a nightmare. It's
Walmart
the worst.
inventory is no joke.
You can't bring anything in here. Why are we out of Bud Light? Because we can't bring anything in here.
Yeah. It was awful, man.
The store was still, when the power was out, the store was closed, so we didn't have to deal with customers. But normally for inventory, there are still shoppers taking items off the shelf. So you might have just counted that section. That count is now gone. So sometimes you have to restart.
And when they have the teams come in, they have like the little like
Yeah, the little
little
keypad.
I love watching those people. It is impressive the way they
It's
can.
entertaining to watch. I like it when they finally get to your section that you've been in, because then you can you hands off. You don't get to touch anything. You don't get to move anything.
Right.
It is like the greatest 20 minutes if they're in your one section. It is the greatest because you can't physically touch anything.
Right.
You can help customers find what they need, but you literally just have to stand there and wait for them to be done.
Right.
With their counts, and then they'll label it, and then you can go about your day. But it's funny.
When I worked for Pepsi, there was one time, and corporate Pepsi was coming down the day of or after inventory, right? So during inventory, everything, like you said, just gets wiped out. There's nothing in there, right?
Nothing.
And so the next day, this massive load is coming. They're like, Larry, they'll be here at like 9 in the morning. The store needs to look good. I can throw up your ass because it's empty. Like, it's empty. And I'm built for comfort, not for speed. Okay, that ain't going to happen. So, yeah, the inventory at Walmart was an absolute nightmare. I hated it so much, dude. So, yeah.
It was no joke. I worked there for about 3.5 years, and then I left Walmart, and I worked for the city of Fort Morgan for about 2.5.
That was cool, though. Yeah. Yeah, you don't like work for the city?
I liked the city job. It was fun.
Yeah, okay. All right, what do you think, Voke?
I would have not liked to have been in that situation. That would have sucked.
Yeah.
I would have went and got a better hand lamp, but
Paid the $5.
yeah.
You couldn't. The registers were down.
You
Yeah,
can't.
true. I have to wear a headlamp at work too when I pre-trip in a truck in the morning because I get there early enough. And I bought one from Amazon, and this thing is like, I don't know how many lumens it is, but this thing is like the light of God. Like the thing that's on top of the Luxor, they made also headlamps. This thing
That
was,
would have been the greatest.
right.
No.
Like guys at work were like, "What is that over there?" As my head's moving, like they see this big light. Like
There's airplanes landed.
I think aliens are visiting.
If I could have, I would have borrowed some of like my dad's like hunting headlamps. Like
Yeah.
I would have done that. Shop lights. We would have done
Yeah.
something, but no. Stinky little headlight that got to wear for 3 days. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. Of me sitting lonely in the break room with like a peanut butter sandwich because, well, my other plan didn't work the day
Yeah.
before. So I went, hey, safety. Let's do peanut butter.
Yeah.
Stick it in my locker.
Yeah, I guarantee Walmart got robbed that day. I guarantee it. I guarantee employees are stealing them blind.
Who knows?
You know what? They should have, bastards. Okay. All right, that was working in the dark. Good story. And I think I actually think I remember that though. I remember the power being down at Walmart because it was a big. I can't remember. It sounds.
I don't
familiar.
remember why the power was up. It was just like that one chunk was completely out.
The time I remember Walmart truly shutting down was when that flood hit.
Yeah, so the flood was the year before.
Okay.
So it was the flood, it was the power outage, and like nothing else was really big have happened.
Right. Yeah, the flood was big. That's when we had a comedy show with Ron Ferguson and Sterling.
I wasn't here for the flood.
Oh, really?
I was in San Antonio at a job site.
We had
So-
the flood in Sterling, and we told the headline. I told like, "Hey, Ron, you probably want to cut it a little short so we can all go home." And Ron was like, he basically said, "Up your ass, Larry. I'm doing my hour." So he did what he did. So, okay, I was working in the dark. We have two more: the coin game and unintended date. Now, Mickayla, I always have the one I want to hear the most, and I always save that one to last. So
Okay.
I'm going to pick the coin game instead.
Okay. So the coin game is because of a group of friends and I decided after getting off of work from Walmart, because at that point most of my friends worked at Walmart. We were a little group, and it's like 10:30 at night on a Friday. We're like, most of us don't have to work tomorrow. The one that does, he has to be there at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So like, you're fine. We're gonna go do something fun. Well, we're old enough to go drinking, because we were all about 19, 20. So we're like, okay, we're not gonna do anything.
To go legally drinking.
Couldn't go legally drinking.
Okay.
But they were also around me. So I was the mom of the group. They didn't get to do all the questionable antics around with me because my mom would murder us all.
I think it's called being the stick in the mud, but go ahead, Mickayla.
I mean, it's fair. That's usually what it was, but it's fair. They love me anyways.
That's cool.
And So one of the friends, he decided, well, I have a quarter in my pocket. It's like, okay, what are we going to do with the quarter? Like, come on, what are we doing? It's like, well, if it goes heads, we'll drive to the right. If it goes tails, we'll go to the left.
All right.
Sounds like something my daughter would do.
Yeah.
There are 6 of us in this car now. Thank goodness for one of the guys' trucks actually had a 3-seater front seat and had 3 seats in the back. So we made it work. And we're driving around. We ended up dropping off somebody, landing in front of another one of our friends' house. And we literally called her, hey, what are you doing? I'm sitting here on my bed, like, doing nothing. You should come outside and get in this truck that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go do something.
That's not creepy at all.
It's not creepy at all. She was like, why are you outside of my house? Like, because we're going on an adventure. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. Victoria, get your butt in the car. Let's go. So she climbs in after some help with one of the guys because she is tiny. And we had to, like, pick her into the lifted truck that we were in because that's what we were doing that night.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up going to Wiggins somehow. We went to Brush, all with us taking turns of literally flipping the coin in the car and right or left. Those are our only options. We did
Really?
circle the block a couple of times before we got out of a pattern.
Right.
Once we ended up on the highway, again, we couldn't really go left or right until we got an exit line, so it took some distance. But after we started leaving Brush, I think it was one of the guys' turns. We ended up out in Adina.
The haunted.
The haunted, like, little town and school and church. Yeah, we ended up out there by some sheer luck. And then there's me going, no. I don't go out here. No. I've heard stories from my siblings. You do not do this unless you are prepared to come out to Adina. This is not something. There's been talks of somebody shooting at cars. A light turns on at the school or the church.
Right.
I'm like, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't watch horror films.
Really?
I don't.
Do you believe in that kind of stuff? Like the supernatural?
I believe a tiny bit into it.
Okay.
I'm not totally into it, but it's just one of those. Like, I don't watch horror films. I am Harry Potter's like the scariest I get half the time.
Oh shit.
Took me 3 years to watch the first Jurassic Park movie,
Really?
the original. 3 years
Wow.
for me to sit through it because I would literally turn it off. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this. Can't do it.
Okay.
Walk away. So we ended up in Adidas. So the guys decided to get out of the truck. I'm like, no, please, let's not. Let's go back. I'll buy everyone ice cream or whatever's open. Come on, let's go.
Right.
No, the guys, they decided they wanted to go mess with something in the church. So they go do that. They're gone for like 15 minutes. The 2 girls that are with me, they also get out. So I'm like, this is awful. I'm alone in a car. They literally found me hunched in the back seat, cowering, because I saw something go by the truck that wasn't my friend's.
Right.
I don't know what it was.
Oh wow.
It could have been a deer for all I know, but it was not cool. And so they've like, okay, we're going to take Mickey home because we're afraid she's going to die or have a panic attack or the hospital.
So you saw like an entity, like that could have been a deer or a human or something, just like a shadow, like go by the.
A shadow just went by the truck window, and I'm just like, what was that? It was not one of the friends. I'm like, it was not a physical form I can describe.
Okay.
And yeah, the friends are like, okay, let's try the coin game again once we get out of Adina, and let's cheer Mickey up. We're gonna sing Disney songs. 2 of the guys, I love them dearly. They decided to start singing The Little Mermaid of Part of Your World just to get me start laughing because they did the motions with it.
Right.
Of one of them popping out of the truck and like trying to like sit on the rock and sing. He was not a little guy to do this out of the window. I was more afraid of him falling out.
Okay, like our size little guy or a little smaller than
A
us?
little smaller.
Okay.
He was lovable. He gave the best hugs. But I was like,
whoa! No, don't be throwing out threat. Okay, don't.
I challenge.
Yeah, you don't be throwing down gauntlets here, sister. Okay.
Well, he doesn't live here anymore, so I can't like do a comparison in person. But no, after that, they got out of Adina. We started doing it again, and then we wound up ending the game. We were out in the Wildcat, so we went all across the county.
Wow.
We were everywhere, all just with this random left, right. we had a police officer following us for a few minutes. We did cool it once he was, we saw him follow us after 2 turns. We decided, okay, we're going to put the coin down. We don't need to get arrested or have a ticket tonight.
Right.
It's not what the night's about. And I think the police officer pulled us over. And I'm like, this is not good. We've already been at a DDA. My nerves are shot.
Right.
And he's just like, what are you guys doing? We're doing a game of we flip the corner, and if it lands at heads, we go to the right. If it lands at tails, we go left. You just saw us happen to have 2 heads back to back, so we went around the block. And he went, okay, don't do anything stupid. Please watch out. I'm like, we will, officer. Thank you very much. Please don't take us to jail.
Yeah.
Please. I think he gave pity on me because I'm like back there. I look like I'm about to start crying.
That's even worse. He's like, blink twice if you're good. Blink twice if you're in trouble,
And like it's like, yeah, she's fine. We've been making her like laugh so hard, she's crying.
Right.
And he's like, okay. He sees half of us are in Walmart attire, so he's like, okay, just don't do anything stupid, guys. Just have a good night. I'm like, thank you, officer.
Is that really Walmart attire? Let's see your headlamp. I heard about that janky ass place. I gotta be honest. I love the idea of the coin game. I really like that. I like the unpredictability of it.
It was random and stupid. It was like, what did we have with us? Like, we had our Walmart tags. That wouldn't do anything. It has our names on it.
Right.
Mickey was on mine because I didn't go by Mickayla at Walmart.
Are you go by Mickey?
I go by Mickey mostly. That's
I'll call you Mickey. My bad.
No, you're fine. I answered to both.
Okay.
Or Rodent or Brat, as my brothers get to call me. No one else.
Rodents.
Only the brothers. Only the brothers get to call me those.
What do you think about that?
Like you said, the idea of the coin game, that is fun. Because just this summer, I'd when I was out with my girls, they're 14 and 17, and I'd be all, Brinley, left or right? And whatever she'd say, that's the way I'd turn.
Oh, really?
Harley, left or right? And then whatever she would say, I'd go the opposite. And
Right.
she was getting so mad. Because I was listening to Brinley, but I wasn't listening to Harley.
Of course.
But, kind of the concept, just, I'm goofing around.
It was a good time. And like 6 of us in a truck.
Yeah.
And it was like literally, it was an even split. There were 3 guys, 3 girls, and pretty much all except for one of them worked at Walmart at that point. So we just conned Miss Victoria into the truck with us after we circled her house twice before we went, hey, there's her house. We should call her
because the coin deemed it so. Yeah.
Deemed it. She needed to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It landed on its edge, so you had to stop, and that's Victoria's house.
Right. No, I really liked it. Is the coin game something you guys thought of, or is that something you picked up from somewhere?
It was we just went with it. We tried it a couple of times after that first time we did it, and like nothing ever as crazy happened.
Right.
But it was always the joke as when we would get together. So who's got a coin?
Right.
And whose car are we going? And who's chipping in for gas?
Right.
That was the thing. Very large truck. We wasted a lot of gas.
Right.
All of us, like the next week, we're just like slowly handing the driver money for his gas tank.
Sure. I like the movie The Yes Man with Jim Carrey. Have you watched it? Yes
I
Man.
have.
Yeah, it's like that. It's where you just go with whatever. You know what I mean? Why not? Just let life take you where it's going to take you.
It's going to happen.
I think the coin game that's a cool idea. It really is. Even like with your girls, they could pick, but the coin picks.
Right.
Where are you going to end up? I mean, that's cool. I like that a lot. So what would you do on the interstate, like?
So on the interstate, we would give it a break. So if we miss like the turnoff for like Log Lane or for Main Street, Barlow, if we missed any of those, because again, we're also talking, we're making fun of each other.
Right.
We're jamming out to lots of different music. And so if we miss a turn, we would just go, okay, when we get to Brush or Wiggins, we're going to turn off and we'll try this again and see what happens.
I like it. What do you think?
I like that.
You like that? Me too. I like that. Even if it's not the true story, I like the idea of the coin game. That's fun. That's a fun idea. That really is. I never thought of something like that. Let the coin take you where it takes you, until something bad happens and you're like some fucking coin. So, all right. One last story. Now this is the one I want to hear because it's okay. Unintended date.
Unintended date. All right. So this happened a couple of years ago. And I went up with a different group of friends, so nobody involved with the coin game. Totally different group. and we decided that we were going to go up to the Grizzly Rose for a concert. So at this point, there were 2 couples in the car, and then there was me and another girl that we were the single friends, and we were well aware. So we all went up to go see Jared Neiman in concert. And I had been trying to online date. We'll just put that out there. Trying to online date. I got kind of talked into it by some friends to get myself out there after a breakup. And they're like, just give it a try. What's the harm in talking with some people? You might not meet them, but, you know, you could have some fun conversations. I was one of the people I'd been talking to for maybe like 2 weeks at this point. He sent me a message saying, hey, how was your weekend? You know, any fun plans? I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going up to go see a concert with some friends. You know, it's going to be a really good time. We've all really liked this artist, so, you know, we're just going to go have fun, let loose, not be in Fort Morgan. Because, again, there's nothing much to do around Fort Morgan.
Sure.
So he's like, oh, that sounds fun. I'm still at work. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, hopefully, you know, we get off soon and, you know, have a good weekend. And, like, that's all the thought I had on it. And we were there for about an hour. My friends and I were just hanging out. We're waiting for the concert to start. There's a lovely pre-band going, and we're just hanging out. And then all of a sudden, I get a message on my phone. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. I thought I turned my phone, you know, off because I wanted to save as much battery as I could for the concert to start. Because I'm one of those people. I do film the entire concert as I'm watching it because there's like me doing this.
Oh, don't do that, girl. Don't do that.
I am that person. I've tried to break the habit.
Oh, it's pet peeve of mine, but go ahead.
I am that person. I'm sorry. And so I pull up my phone. I look at this message, and he says, hi, I'm here. Where are you?
Oh, shit.
Stalker.
And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, did he honestly mean to message me this? Because, like, at this point, we weren't talking on the online app anymore. We had, like, done, like, Snapchat. So it was like, did he truly mean to message me, or is this, like, a miss thing?
Right.
And I'm like, hi, what do you mean you're here? And did you mean to send this to me? And he went, yes, I mean you, as in Mickey. I'm like, okay, shit, you remembered who I am. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm here at the Grizzly Rose. Where are you guys at? I went, thanks. What? Excuse me, you're here?
Wow.
We're in the parking lot leaving now.
Like, in my mind, I'm dressed, you know, cute for hanging out with friends. Like, it was just go see music. I wasn't date pretty, in my opinion. I was not make-upped and, you know, hair curled. I was like, I'm hanging out with friends.
Right,
I'm in a okay shirt. Like, this was not my intention for a date, you know, of outfit. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, well, stay where you are. I'll come to you. So I have my friend, she was the other single girl with us, and she's like, well, I have to go get a drink anyways, so I will follow you to where he's at, because there's one of the bars right next to where he's standing. So you just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down behind your back. I'll keep my eye on you, on whether or not this is the person you've been talking to, first of all, and if you feel comfortable. I went, okay. Like, she's like maybe 5 feet behind me. Like, it's all good. I just have my hand like sticking in my back pocket waiting to give her the signal of thumbs up, thumbs down, or help me, something. And no, it was him. And he went, well, you said that this was going to be fun, so I thought I would come and join you. And I went, okay, are you willing to hang out with my friends? Because I am here with them. They are my ride home.
Right.
You live here in the Denver area. I live in Fort Morgan.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I have no problem hanging out with your friends. So for the rest of the night, he hung out with my group of friends, and they're obnoxious. And they've been drinking. So it's gone over the top. The concert was wonderful.
I think I know how this ends, by the way, but go ahead.
You might. After the concert was over, out of the 6 of us that came from Morgan, 3 of them were drunk. 3 of us were not. So the 3 drunk ones decided we need to go get Village Inn. It's 2 a.m.
You had 3 mooses and 3 Adams in the car. That's
Exactly what you had.
I was one of the Adams.
okay.
Even though I'm not drunk, I'm always down for Village Inn. So,
But so we went to Village Inn, and he went with us. He followed us to Village Inn. I'm like, okay, like this is not normally how this would go in my mind. Like, who would willingly sign up to go hang out at Village Inn at 2 a.m? with somebody that you had literally met maybe 2 hours prior to this.
The two fat guys on this side of the table to do with a homeless man. If he said there's some blueberry waffles involved, I'm like, yeah, let's go there, boxcar.
So we go through Village Inn. At this point, I don't really order anything except for like a water because I have blood sugar issues. So I'm like, I've already had like my one drink at the start of the night. I'm like, I'm good now. I need some water. I just want to go home and sleep. You know, everyone else gets, giant plates of pancakes and waffles. And like, I think one of them got like the biggest platter you could get. He was one of the sober ones, but he was hungry.
Oh, that's shocking.
That would have been me.
Yeah.
He was the driver though, so he was bored of. I couldn't drink it all, guys. You guys suck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat my weight in food right now. I was like, okay, go for it, buddy. Like, your girlfriend was the one that was the most wasted. I'm like, you have to get her home
Right.
after you get all of us back. So
Get your energy up, man. Eat the whole plate. Yeah.
go for it, buddy.
Yeah.
And he actually tried to pay for our the whole group's meal. I'm like, no, you're not doing that. Like,
Right.
no. If anything, we should pay for you because you got swindled into this.
Right.
At the end of the night, we were walking back to the cars. He actually kisses me. I was very shocked because I'm like, okay, this did not go well, in my opinion. I'm like, yes, it was fun, but like, this was not like a date. Not really. And 2 weeks later, he came out here for Bob's Stock for Vanilla Ice and Survivor. I convinced him to come out, but before he left, he was like, yeah, I have to be at work at 5. I'm like, it's 3:30. You have to be back at work. And he was driving from Commerce City to Grand Junction for his job because he was taking a semi full of something up to Grand Junction to the other shop. And I'm like, why in God's name did you stay? Like, I feel incredibly guilty now. I don't want you to like fall asleep while driving a semi.
Right.
He's like, yeah, but it was worth it because I got to meet you and we've had great conversations. I'm like, swoon.
Smooth criminal. Oh my God.
Just, okay. So I was like, well, we'll have to do this again. I'm like, well, in like 2 weeks, Fort Morgan's having, excuse me, apologies. We're having this huge music festival and, we have Vanilla Ice and Survivor coming out. And he went, okay, I could live without Vanilla Ice. I'm like, okay, we'll come out for Survivor. It's fun.
Yeah.
And he came out and he helped me get a free henna from the henna booth because I was one henna short of getting it. I'm like, I'm running out of what I want.
I don't know what henna is.
So henna is a temporary tattoo paste.
Oh, okay.
Got like a red or a maroon.
So yeah, when it's done, it's maroon.
It looks kind of like a reddish maroon.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any actual tattoos, but I hold henna ink like it is no one's business.
Nice.
And normally they last for maybe like 2-3 weeks. Mine lasts on me for months.
Nice.
And I'm like, it's great. It's $5. I get pretty art on me for, a couple of months and I'm happy. And yeah, that guy actually turned out to be my husband.
I
was wondering.
Yep. Mr. Patrick.
I was gonna be like, does he own a business in town right now that we maybe or might not be sitting in? So, yeah.
That'd be Patrick.
That's a cool story. I kind of got the hint on that I was like, oh yeah, I think this is all Heisler. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those pretty blue eyes, they got me.
Did he tell you the stories he's gonna tell on this podcast?
I have a notion of 2 of them. He kind of mentioned the titles. I don't know what they all entail.
I hope he has a story about YouTube meeting and he tries to bullshit us on it because we're gonna.
It's like the total opposite.
He'll watch this episode and be like, "Oh my God, that's how they knew they cheated me."
Like he was at Grizzly Rose and she showed up.
No, he followed me. Also, he didn't have to wait for parking. I'm just gonna point that out right now for this because he had a friend who worked there. He had a special spot saved for him whenever he wanted to come.
Shocking.
And I'm just like, this is unfair. We had to park blocks away to get here. This is unfair.
Right.
Did he use that spot later on for a date for us? Yes, he did. Was it nice? Yes, it was.
That's her spot now.
Yeah.
So.
Unfortunately not. The friend no longer works there.
Oh.
But we recently went up to go to the Grizzly Rose again for seeing Jared Neiman again in concert.
Nice.
So that was a birthday present for me.
Very cool.
And I actually got to go with him, and I knew who he was.
That's cool.
It wasn't creepy. I wasn't scared.
Nice.
My friend didn't have to threaten him of, like, please don't We like her. She's cute. Leave her alone.
I'll eat you like a big plate of food from IHOP. What do you think about that one, man?
I liked it.
I did too. I did too. Do you have one in mind?
Kind of, not really. So
before we start guessing, Mickey, real quick, what's the address here? Do you know?
So this is 204 West Beaver Avenue.
Cool.
In Fort Morgan.
There's a couple things I want to say that I'm very, very impressed. Did you take the tour of this place yet?
I haven't.
They have a game room back behind us for kids. Like, so if you have like
it's not just for kids.
Well,
it's not. We include it for all.
Sure. But my point is, when Patrick showed me for Karuglian's going away party, I was so impressed by this because if you want a wedding reception or anything like that, and you want to enjoy yourself without your children bothering you, they have a place here where they'll keep the kids occupied,
entertained for
it's got
hours.
Little Nintendo Wii's on the wall.
So it has 2 Nintendo Switches. We have a large Nintendo actual arcade style game. We have 3 different pinball machines, an air hockey table. Pac-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, NBA Jam, and Buck Hunter.
And it's cool. I mean, are they coin operated? Or
No,
free?
that's all
free
play. Everything is free play. The room itself rents out for $50 an hour.
That's cool, and it's cool for, like I said, they have a cool little bar down here. This is a cool little bar. Upstairs, they still have the big hall.
Yep.
To do any kind of ceremonies in this. This is actually a really whichever one of you had the idea to turn this into an event center was genius because it's
that would have been me.
That a girl, Mickey, and I'm sure Patrick. I'm going to tell Patrick. Like we already talked to the boss, so I mean we already got the lowdown. So you just tell us your stories, all right, Patrick? No, this is really smart. I think it's such a great idea what you guys have done here, and they need more event centers.
Yeah. What was funny is after we opened, 3 more event centers in the county opened.
Right.
It was just like, cool, we're setting a trend. Oh no, we're setting a trend.
Yeah.
Well, but also, I mean, it takes a while to set this up, so it might have just been other people that realize there's a need for it. You know what I mean? So
it's been fun. Down here in the what we call the club space or the bar space, this is the newly finished room.
Mm-hmm.
We started with the upstairs first.
oh, that's cool.
So down here, it did not have this lovely flooring and this lovely paint job. It had purple brown carpet on the walls.
I remember.
I remember that.
And the paisley, which that carpet was purple and green, just mind you, it did not look it, but it was
brown and red.
it was actually purple and green and gold paisley carpet on the floors. So we've recently got that done, and yeah, we've removed the Christmas lights from the ceiling. That was one of the fire marshal's biggest, me and his pet peeves for this building. Of both rooms had endless lines of Christmas lights chained together and
Daisy chain. That's funny.
and I'm just like, no,
No, it looks great down here.
we're not quite done. We still have the ceiling tiles to fix up down here.
Yeah, that's
then-
okay though. I mean,
They just we want them to match upstairs.
okay. But this is a great place, and where can they come if they're interested in renting this place out? How do they?
So they can call my number, which is 970-380-9368.
Okay.
Or stop by. There's generally someone here at least 3 days a week, if not more.
Is there a website?
We have a Facebook page. We do not have a website yet.
So what if you go to thebullhucker.com and under the tab that says "As Seen on the Bullhucker," we'll have links to all this stuff,
Perfect.
as well as the description on the YouTube or any of the your audio podcasts. There'll be a link on all of them, so you can check this place out. If you're looking for somewhere to have, this is a great place to come. I would absolutely rent this place out if I was getting married or had a wedding or something. This is
Quinceañeras we love quinceañeras.
Oh, quinceañeras, yeah.
Those are the best parties.
yeah, because Hispanics they're not afraid of a good time. God bless.
They're fun, and it's always creative to see what they bring and how they decorate upstairs.
Sure, and the food never hurts either.
And the food never hurts.
The
we
food's pretty
love the
amazing.
family food. The family food's been great.
Cool. So yeah, we'll have all those links. So definitely check this out. And if you're looking for somewhere, this is the place you should look to. So we'll have all the links stuff there for you guys to hook it up. So all right, Mr. Vokey, how we decide, Mickey, how we pick who gets to pick first is we rock paper scissors.
Fair.
Now, when you rock paper scissors, Mickayla, how do you do it?
I go after 3.
So you go 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yes.
4 pumper. Yeah. You know what? I can't even look at you right now.
Tyler can't either.
I'm disgusted. He is a 3 pumper, and he's an avid 3 pumper. Like he's on the fringe of 3 pumping. Like he might stab somebody for a 4 pump. Like
He can't. We don't.
Alright.
That's why we don't do it.
I'll argue with it.
he absolutely like pulled me aside and was like, look, man, I'm joking aside. Why the hell would you 4 pump? I'm like, I don't know. These people are crazy, Tyler. They're crazy. So you see the disgust on his face.
In my mind, it makes sense. 1, 2, 3, then you do it.
See,
Right.
for me, it's hard because Jen Neb is the only one of the co-hosts that does this. Him and Dencia, but they like, my God, dude. When I die, they're gonna put 4 pump for life on my casket. Just you know what I'm saying?
We're going to be up there on your cat.
Live that forever, you bastard. All right, ready?
Yep.
Damn, it's okay. You've been on a roll, man.
I have.
2020 Vokey is back.
At least on the rock, paper, scissors part.
So we got 3 stories: working in the dark, the coin game, and unintended date. Now these you've done a good job, Mickey, because I have a slight inkling of one I want to pick. So first of all, I'm going to say unintended date. I think that's a true story. I think that's how you guys met. I think. Although the way you're smiling, I think that might be the Bullhucker now. I think you might have so,
You never know.
you never know. Working in the dark. I don't remember. I inkling of maybe it going dark. I remember the flood. I remember the Walmart getting shut down for the flood. But I don't remember. I don't remember going dark for that long. The coin game, that sounds fun. It sounds pretty. It's a pretty simple story, but I think I liked the idea of it. Mickey, I'm going to go with working in the dark. I think that one might be your Bullhucker. It's only partially true. I don't think if there was dark, it wasn't for that long. I just don't remember that for some reason. I worked for Pepsi for 8-9 years, so and that would have been around the time I was there. I started in 2011, and so through 2019. So I don't remember that part. And not say it's not true, but I just don't. I don't remember that because I remember I'd have been bitching like I did about everything at Pepsi about working in the dark. Headlamp, are you out of your mind? So, Mr. Vokey, I'm taking working in the dark. What do you think?
So you were saying that the working in the dark was the year after the flood?
Give or take, if I remember.
Okay, because the flood was in 2013. I remember that because that's when I was working in San Antonio. I had just started for Big Johnson. Actually, I started there in 12, but it was still 13. September of 13, so it would have been the beginning of 14. So the timeline kind of works out, but like you'd said, it was like for 3 days. And that's the part that I don't remember Walmart, even though I was in and out of town a lot. I don't ever remember Walmart being dark for that long.
The Fort Morgan Mall.
Yeah,
It's what
It
it is.
is.
It's what it is.
Or it's the mall of, or it's the wall of Mart,
Yeah.
which a lot of my friends make fun of it.
The unintended date, like Boo said, I think that's true. But since only part of it is true, the coin game, I like the idea. You kind of lost me when you said you saw something in the dark.
Smirk on your face right now, by the way. I despise it.
So just to everybody, it's fine.
So I'm like looking here that I'm watching her in that camera over there
Oh, yeah.
to watch her reaction, and she's not giving me anything. Although I think most of unintended date is true, I think there's parts in there that you changed, made up something. So I'm going to go with unintended date.
You're going to deny her love? How dare you? How dare you, Adam?
Well, I'm
Bucky?
I don't. It could be something as small as he didn't go to Village Inn with us.
Okay, that's true. That's what makes it tough on this podcast. It's been slight changes at certain times.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, just that one thing could tell,
I was gonna give away Cruises, but it hasn't came out yet. That episode hasn't came out yet. I almost did what I just told you not to do. Yeah.
I was there for that one. I still don't remember. So I'm going to go unintended date.
So I'm gonna go working in the dark. Adam's gonna go unintended date. Flip that board over. Let's see what you got there, Mickey. The coin.
See, I should have followed my instincts in the whole entity in the dark thing, which is always bullshit.
Oh my, yeah. Well,
That's the part I was like,
that's true. Supernatural usually does get you.
I usually always go with supernatural.
You know what? I'll give you extra credit
Always.
for that because it's usually.
Always.
I'm a big guy on the info. If there's not a lot of detail, that'll always snag my attention. He's a supernatural guy because he doesn't
When
believe
you
in
said something about, I saw a shadow outside, I was like, that.
Okay, first of all, what's not true about the coin game?
So we never made it to Adina, so that was a lie. We did do the coin game. There were 6 of us involved. We did pick up my friend Victoria, but we only made it literally to Morgan and Brush. That was the furthest that we got.
Well, you know what? That was very well done, Mickey.
Thank you.
You know what? You know how hard it is to beat both of us when we both pick two different stories?
Mm-hmm.
If we double up.
I was like waiting for you guys to pick because I'm like, one of them's going to do it. And they're going to find me out because I'm not
I always
usually.
go against Supernatural.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's. I didn't even think about that part
No.
of it, the supernatural part of it.
A different night we did go to Adina. I didn't see anything, but I was the only one left in the truck, and I was very upset because I did not want to be there.
Yeah.
I just kind of same group of people, just different nights.
Have you been to Adina, Adam?
No.
See, neither have I. Rick Stroh brings it up in his podcast. That's the first time I've ever even heard of it. Jen Neb knew exactly what he's talking about, but yeah, so.
I've heard of it.
Right.
Usually it's where all the teenagers goes to cause trouble. It's usually what it is.
All right. Well, you know what? That sucks. Good job, Mickey. That was.
Yes!
I really am impressed. You snuck one by both of us. Usually one of us I'll catch you, but welcome to the Hall of Fame, right?
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome. Hey, Mickey, I appreciate you coming on. That's awesome. And congratulations on this building. That is so cool.
Thank you.
And once again, if you want to check out the Hall Event Center, you can find it on the bullhucker.com or on the description below. So please check that out. Please support these guys. They're doing a great job out here. So,
Thank you guys.
Mickey, thank you. So anything more you want to tell your nephew before we go?
Jackson, I won.
He won. Did Tyler and Yolanda win? I don't remember now.
I
I
can't.
wasn't there for that.
Honestly, I can't remember.
I
if
can't remember if they
did
beat us or not.
Jackson's like, you can't beat my dad's story with Naked and Afraid with my dog. I'm like, watch me.
Yeah, hold my beer. So
Watch me, kid.
right on. Mickey, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm out of Boki.
Next time. Peace. Good job.